Okay, I'm going to preface the story by saying I've killed lots of animals, like chickens, and like I've helped dress pigs and goats and sheep and cows and fish. But when you kill an animal, you should eat it and you should thank it and you should be merciful and quick. And you should never intentionally harm an animal. Now, that being said, this story is about the time when I kicked the asses of two different farm animals, but they started it. Not my proudest moment, but this is what happened. So, for a few summers, there's this program called woofing, WWOOF. It's like willing workers on organic farms or something. It's basically like broke people who are trying to have farms. It's like a work trade program. So we gave this guy like 40 hours a week in exchange for room and board and food. And he had a whole mess of animals. Like he had pigs, goats, sheep, chickens, ducks, turkeys. And it started out kind of small, and then he just slowly accumulated more and more livestock. So the first time I fought an animal, we would get grocery scraps, like produce from the grocery store. We'd go to town with like trash cans, and we'd get produce boxes, and we'd fill the trash cans like bananas and rotting fruit and whatever, and we'd feed those to the pigs. And so the pig area was just decorated with like empty boxes and trash cans and garbage and whatever. And somewhere along the line, the owner had got this rescue chicken from somebody. He like came with like a flock of chickens. He was like handicapped. His leg had been broken, and we called him Karate Kid. At first, we called him Napoleon, but then with the broken leg, we're like, no, he's totally Karate Kid, because he walked like the Karate Kid, like that kick stance, you know, at the end of the movie, where like his arms are up and his one foot is in the air, like he was like the Karate Kid. Fuck out of here, kitty. And so, Karate Kid like basically lived in the pig area, and he would menace you when you were trying to feed the pigs. He's like, come on, motherfucker, give me some corn and shit, you know? He'd like fight the pigs for their food. And he would fight us as we were like trying to give the pigs their food. So it was like WWE SmackDown some days. Like, you'd be trying to throw boxes over the fence to the pigs, and Karate Kid would be coming at you, so you'd be throwing empty boxes at him, and you'd be rolling trash cans at him. Get the fuck out of here, Karate Kid, you know? And one day, I must have been like either extra pissed off or he was coming at me extra hard or something. But I was not in the mood for Karate Kid. And he comes at me, all puffed up on one leg. And I do the usual stuff. I throw a trash can at him. That doesn't work. I'm like rolling the trash can at him, trying to get him away from me. And he's still coming. And so, you know that movie where Bruce Lee like full body kicks that guy through the window? I like lined up, and he came at me, and I Bruce Lee kicked him. And he threw 12, 15 feet through the air, flipping end over end, flying through the air. He lands on his feet and puffs back up. He's ready to go again. I'm like, you motherfucker. So he's running at me again, like round two, baby. I like wind up like fucking Pat McAfee, dude. And I like punt him in the nose. And I hear his beak snap. And he goes back a few feet and he's down. And when he gets back up, he kind of just like limps away. And to that, you know, from that day on, he never fucked with me again. So it must have worked. The owner just ended up making him into fajitas one day because he was just sick of him like trying to fuck with us all the time. So, but he never fucked with me again. So now the second animal that I fought, that I remember, I maybe fought more animals, but these are the only two that really stick in my head. So I worked at the woofing place for off and on for like 4 years maybe. And the last year, the guy got like a shipment of like 35 sheep. And they came, and the guy gave us a free ram, because the ram was like a real asshole. The ram's name was Alucard, which is like Dracula backwards. And the ram was like bucking everybody. Like, he knocked the guy's like grandpa over and his son and shit. So he's like, here, take this free ram. We're like, all right, we're going to eat him. He's like, cool. And so the owner left me alone for a few days during the summer. And it was just when we got those like 30 sheep and then Alucard. And also a few days before that, we got a couple goats. And we got this little baby goat we named Crybaby because he cried all the time. And he must have weighed 8 pounds. I said I was going to take him home with me and raise him because he was too little. Like, everyone beat him up all the time. Like, he was the total runt. And so the owner got like a huge hay bale. He got like a carport, put the hay bale under the carport, tarped that shit up, But the goats and the sheep could all access the food. But when he left for a few days, it was like raining like hell for like 3 days. And after the first day, I went to go check on the goats the next morning, and I just knew, I was like, Crybaby's dead. I just had a feeling like even when the weather was nice, like the goats wouldn't let him eat. So I imagine if it's like raining, like it doesn't stand a chance. So I go in there, open the gate, close the gate, turn around, and out of the corner of my eye, I see hop, hop, boom. Alucard hits me square in the chest. But I see him coming, so I'm like spinning and rolling and falling as he hits me. Like I'm rolling with the punch real good. So I hit the ground rolling, and there's, if you know, look up what a madrone tree is, or a manzanita bush. There's all those kinds of trees and bushes along the property. They look like Lion King trees, like they look like African safari trees. And so there was like a madrone branch laying there. They're really spiky and pretty tough. So I picked one up and I'm swinging it around, creating some space in between me and Alucard. And also we were on like a giant like clay deposit. So I got this like tetherball sized clay deposit of like rock and clay. And I ran up to Alucard and I slam dunked that bitch in his face. And he walked around like, for a while. And then ever since then, like he wouldn't fuck with me, but he would like, every time we saw each other, we would kind of like stop and like, and then to put the icing on the cake, Crybaby was dead. I had to drag him out of there. And when he was alive, he probably only weighed like 8 or 10 pounds. But when he died, he gained like 50 pounds. In my head, I had him over my shoulders, carrying him out of there. But in reality, I had to drag him out, looking over my shoulder because I was scared Alucard was going to get me again. But yeah, and then we turned Alucard into sausage, so that's good. But anyway, that's the story of me unmercifully fighting animals. So don't fight animals, please. If they attack you first, sure. But don't fight animals, it's bad.